Hello ladies and gentle ladies, welcome back to another railroad development stream. We are back. As you can see, we have a new starting soon screen, and likewise I also now have a be right back screen and a see you soon screen, but obviously we'll use those when necessary. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So, oh, forgot to move my camera. So yes, last time we were working on onboarding. We did actually quite a lot of work on it. So if we go ahead and run it. I have actually done quite a bit since the last stream as well. So last time we managed to actually get it running. We got everything compiled and everything actually ran. And since then I've gone ahead and actually kind of cleaned it up a little bit so it all like functionally works. So you can see that I can put a project name in, press next, and it does actually bring me to the next screen. Yeah, it needs some kind of loading thing, or some kind of transition, that kind of thing. You can see it brings me to the next one, and it actually does load the Minecraft versions as well, so that's great. That's basically all I was looking for in terms of it actually working. Now what we need to do today is we need to make it so I can press next. First of all, that's kind of important. So, it actually wouldn't be next, it would be finish, but we'll obviously deal with that the same way. And the other thing is also we need a back button. And yeah, the back button doesn't actually do anything either. So that's what we're going to have to do. Now, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do the back button first, because I think that's the easiest. The next button is going to be more complicated, because this will need to become a finish button when it's on the last stage. So it'll be functionally different. And then also we need to fix this 404 error I am getting. I don't entirely know why I'm getting this. I don't know exactly what's happening. Valid definition exception, Java 8 date/time, local date time not supported. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Here you go. Request failed with code 404. Failed to fetch 1.18_experimental. Yeah, so there's a few niche fabric versions of which will need special handling, but yeah, and also these. I don't know what this is. Minecraft version release time, local date time not supported. I suspect this is an SQL thing. Yeah, it is. So we'll come back to that one as well. Because that's going to be a pain in the butt. But let's do previous first. So previous should be very simple in theory. So if we come into not this, into this, nope, into this, nope. This is what I was looking for. We do have handle back, but it doesn't seem to actually be working. Now, when is this called? That's kind of the most important question. Back button does set an action, handle back, which just does show step current index -1, which should work. I mean, that should just clean out the current step and get that to work. I reckon it's not working though. Most probably. I don't know, actually. Best way to find out is to debug it. So let's go into handle back. Let's just breakpoint handle back. It's possibly because it thinks it's busy, maybe. Something like that. Also, I am curious, is valid property being used elsewhere? No. I was thinking I'll make it a variable if it is, but it's not. So let's put in something like that. Next. Give it a second and then press back. So we see that busy is false, current step is not null, current index is not 0. So it should be fine to continue. If we go show step, if target index is less than 0, so target index is 0, so that's fine. Or target index is greater than or equal to step order.size, that's false. And then it will call cleanup current step. Let's just see what this does. So I forgot to remove this. That doesn't need to be there anymore. That's gonna break everything. But what does it do? So this just removes like event handlers and stuff. It could possibly be because the current step is calling on exit. Maybe. Although I don't think so. Let's go back to here because yeah, it is exiting out of that, so that's fine. So then it does current step on enter. So what is current step now? Is that correct? So if we look at the section, we can look inside here and look at the form, and we can see if the form, like what the form is. Is it the right form? If we look at the fields, yes, it is the right form. And then it does UI dot set content. Okay. And then it calls configure navigation, which should go ahead and kind of set all of these up. The current step, let's just check that this is, yep, that's the correct one. That should have worked. It did work. Interesting. So it didn't keep the data, but that's fine because that just means we need to fix that in here. So all we need to go ahead and do is inside of on enter, we just need to go ahead and basically set these. So we need to see if context.contains project name, then it will set the text to be project name. Hello, Mr. Junior Monkey, welcome to the stream. Why? What? Oh, because it just returns it to... Huh. Okay, whatever. That works, I guess. We do need a contains method, though. I don't know why that's not in here, but that does need to be a thing. So... good afternoon, Bread. Welcome to the stream. It is not afternoon for me, but yes, it is afternoon for you. I am learning Java, and soon I will start to develop mods. Nice, that is very cool. I honestly haven't done modding in a long time. Just Industria completely burnt me out. I'll come back to it at some point. But right now, this is kind of my priority, so... But yeah, for me, it is 7:15 in the evening. So it's not afternoon for me, unfortunately. Yeah, so this is all we want. So inside of onEnter, we just want to see if the context already has the project name. If it does, then it just gets it and basically sets it to the field. And it should have it because it's already been set in here, and the context is just passed between each step. So that's fine. That should all work. No problem at all. We can't hot swap because I've added this method. So that is probably one thing to note. The other thing is probably in here where I'm adding all these versions. A good thing to do would be to check if it's already in the context, because if it's already in the context, then we don't need to do that. Well, actually, we do need to do that, don't we? We do need to do that, but what we can do is we can say, if context contains Minecraft version, then it will just go ahead and get the Minecraft version. And then it'll set value. It should just be able to set value. That's where's set value, bro? Set value to version, not ID, but yeah. And then that, otherwise it just sets the value to be the default Minecraft version. I think that's fine. I guess this kind of won't work because this already has a default value. On available versions. This happens in the constructor. This won't work though, will it? Oh no, it will. It will, I think, because... No, this won't work. How is this working? This doesn't make any sense. How is this even working? If I look at, we can look at where the UI is created. So the UI is created here. Oh, I see, because it creates the UI there. So even though, I see. So the constructor is simply just actually initializing like all of the different parts of the UI. But the UI itself isn't created until it's shown, but after on enter has happened, basically. Now, the problem with that is it means we actually can't do this because the UI doesn't exist at that point. Wait, no, this one's fine, I think, because I think... No, even these ones won't work, because these won't have a value in them. Which is problematic. There is a fix for it, though. Because since that will only happen when you go backwards, we could just have a cache of the UI. So we could have like a private final map of string to a UI, which is n. Right? And then that'll basically be the cached UIs. Which means that when a UI is created, and then you go to the next one, and then you go back, it won't recreate the entire UI that was already there. It will just have it in the cache. So it will just load it from cache. And the benefit of that, even, is that it means we don't actually even need these. We don't need those. Because it will already be there. It will already be cached. Additionally, meaning we don't need this, which is great. On enter though, yeah. But it should only do this if it isn't already empty, right? So if this dot available version dot is empty, then it should do that. Otherwise that won't work. We could also do a little schedule and just say that after like 5 minutes it just clears it or something. Would be a good thing to do. The only issue with that is I'm kind of concerned that that will cause it to not get garbage collected when we are done with onboarding. I don't want to have to garbage collect myself. I guess we could have... We really should have some kind of like dispose step. Right. Some kind of like default void dispose. Like that. Hello Frosty Flipper, welcome to the stream. And hello Wide, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we can have a dispose step, and then that means that in the dispose step we can just cancel the executor. Although we don't want to... the executor is actually inside the context, isn't it? We have a context dot executor. Hello Armadillo Mike, welcome to the stream. I also need to say... or version dot contains, was it underscore experimental? I think we can check though. If I just bring this up in my browser, we can have a look for the experimental one. I think it was 1.18. 1.18 experimental. Oh, 1.19 experimental. There you go. Oh, there's actually some other ones as well, for some reason. I guess what we could just do is we could say... we could actually handle this in here. I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Handle it in here instead. So, string... possible version is equal to that. And then say if possible version. Now, one thing I'm unsure of, and I think I just closed that window, didn't I? Yes, I did. Of course I did. Why did I do that? So there's two weird ones, basically, or two different types of weird ones. There's the underscore experimental ones. And then there's also these old ones. So these are just like builds, and I don't know what Minecraft version these ones are for, which is slightly problematic. My guess is that obviously they are... I don't know, you see, because there's 117, 116, 115, 114, 117. So does that mean these are 114? Or are they... well, I guess there must be 115s in here. Or something. I don't know, you see. I guess I could try and look this up. I could try and find it and see if it's referenced anywhere in the Fabric Discord. Discord search honestly isn't very good, so I might not be able to find it, but I'm gonna try. 2019. If I look at this one, the oldest one in there, I mean that should be 114 in theory. Okay, so the oldest one is apparently 1.14.2. Yeah. I think the best way is just discard these ones. But the experimental ones we can do because we can just remove the underscore experimental. So that's fine. So if it contains build dot, then we just want to return optional to empty. And then what we can say is if possible version dot ends with underscore experimental, then possible version is basically just gonna remove that underscore experimental part, which should work. That should basically fix that issue, and that just means I don't have to do that in here. So that's fine. Yeah. So I think what I want to do is I need to schedule some kind of shutdown, or just some kind of clearing of the caches. What is this comment? Always valid since there's no input. Yes, that is true. The Minecraft version is always valid. You can't have an invalid Minecraft version because it's a combo box. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. So yeah, the best thing to do is inside on enter is just invalidate it after some amount of time. Private. The best way to do that, actually, instead of having something that's scheduled, we could just store a time that we want it to be invalidated at, and if on enter is ever called at a time when that is in the future from this time. So let's say, for example, next invalidation time, right? And then basically all we have to say is if this available version is empty, or system.count time is greater than next invalidation time. We could just do that, actually. And then all we need to do is set next invalidation time. And we can just clear it. So we can do this dot available versions dot clear. Actually, we can't do set all, can we? Because set all just doesn't exist. But we can clear it, and then we can add them all, and then we can set the next invalidation time. So we can do time units dot hours. We don't really need hours. We could do minutes, to be honest, because it's just going to grab it from the cache anyways. So we can do minutes dot 2 millis, and we can just say like 5 minutes, and that'll be fine, because fetching it from the cache will happen pretty much instantly anyways. And yeah, it just in the else case, it doesn't need to do anything because they should already be inside of available versions. We could just say if this dot available version dot is empty, or that, because otherwise it could just be weird. Like it could do some weird shit. So the other thing, yeah, that's fine. that's fine. Just have some consistency. Consistency, please. Thank you. That will do. Which should kind of fix that jank. Now, next issue is to... Okay, so the back button now works, right? So let's just check that that works. And if that works, then we'll do the next button. We'll fix the next button. How has your day been? My day has been decent, I guess. I went out for a walk. Or well, drive and then walk, I guess. Got back, done some railroad, and that's it. I haven't done as much today because I have been out. So. Really? Still a 404? Oh, wait, no. Why is it still a 404? Should fetch Minecraft version 1.21.10. What? Why is it trying to fetch 1.21.10? Or is that correct? 1.21.10 isn't out, is it? Is 1.21.10 out? No, it's not. 1.21.10 is an upcoming minor hotfix. That's what I thought. So it's not out yet. So why is it trying to fetch 1.21.10? Oh. It's because of how Fabric does the versioning scheme. Because Fabric has named the latest API. It's named it 1.21.10, look. Because it's done it for the release candidate. But the release candidate doesn't exist, so... How do we fix that, though? Either way, let's test if this works. We can go with that now. No, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Next. Back. Oh, because I'm an idiot. I didn't actually put it in, and it actually cached the UI. And actually put it in the map. That would help, wouldn't it? What are you developing and what can it do? Right now we are developing the onboarding system. Which is just used for project creation, basically. Yeah, here's what I can do. I can just do this.cache UIs.compute if absent. And I can compute the current step, and then I can say that what's wrong with that? Does it need to be casted? I don't think that's the right way to do it. What does this one do? That's not right. It is section.create UI, and it doesn't take into context. Because it needs to be casted to N. Create UI. Well, no. Wait, this isn't right. The UI. Like the internal UI isn't n, it's just a node, which is why it's being weird. That can just be that, because we don't care about that. Yeah, and that just means it'll fetch it. If it exists, it'll fetch it. Else, it will just go ahead and create it, which is fine. If we now run it again, it should work. Imagine getting 10 million views to this stream and having to deal with it. Well, first of all, that would never happen, for so many reasons. But also, yeah, I obviously wouldn't be able to deal with that. I'd have to get a bunch of moderators and shit. But since I'd instantly earn like a fuck ton of money from that, I would be able to very quickly get lots of moderators. I mean, if you had 10 million concurrent viewers, like, you know, I think YouTube itself would just die. I'm not sure that YouTube is even designed to have 10 million concurrent viewers on a live stream. Nice, look at that. So that saves it. Perfect. Now the validation state hasn't worked. And that's probably because it doesn't actually validate until the input changes, right? Huh, that is not why. Why then? First step. Current index not getting -1. Let's find usages for the next button to see if it does anything, I guess. My guess is that it is busy, or at least it thinks it's busy. Maybe. But I mean, configure navigation should, in theory, cause it to UI.remove event handler. Yeah, I think that's fine. Huh. Do you like Mr. Beast? I don't know. I don't really care for Mr. Beast. I watch some of his videos, but like, I don't know. I think he's gone a little too crazy with production value. Like it's kind of just always the same thing at this point. So, I don't know. It also has been definitely more targeted towards children now, I would say, than how it used to be. But maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I've just grown up. I don't know. This... Wait, this isn't correct. What the fuck? That's not correct. It needs to be... Oh, wait. What is this? That's UIs. String to no. Computer if absent. Oh, because the current is the current step. It's not the current step.id. It should be the current step.id. Yeah, I fucking hate him. Worst of all humans. What do you mean worst of all humans? He's not a bad person. Like, he does good things. But I think his videos are just stupid. Okay, let's try this. I think this should work now. That's why you can't trust Copilot, because it does weird shit like that. If I now go back, and I will still have to, I think, change this input though. Huh, weird. Why can I not press next though? Let's have the ID. Repeat if absent. Oh, step da 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 da. Returns the current, existing, or computed. Ah. Wait. No, that shouldn't matter, should it? Is it because... So, what is defining whether or not that button is enabled? Let's have a look. So next button dot disable property dot bind, busy or not valid, basically, are the two kind of possible things. You know what we can do? Let's breakpoint this. Let's run it again. And then when we press back, we should be able to see what the state of busy and valid are. I think we should be able to see the state of them. So I'm gonna go next, and then I'm gonna go back, and we should be able to see currently busy is false and valid is true, but obviously that's going to change because the current step will change. So target index is equal 0. So it'll do clean up current step. Boom, boom. Now before on enter is called, let's have a look at current step. So valid is set to false. Project name build. Oh. I think the interesting. Because what's in here is a V-box, which is that correct to even have a V-box in there? What if I look at the children? So there's 2 children to the V-box, which are 2 V-boxes. The first child has 3 children, which is a text. Okay, so that's correct. So the valid property is false. Valid false. If we look at the section, is this the right section? Yes. Okay. I'm wondering if when configure navigation is called, so it will set the content, right? Which will create the UI. Oh no, or it will just grab the UI, right? So if we now look at the form, once again, we can see form sections, project, fields, whatever. If we go into configure navigation, valid is saying is false, which makes sense. But that should be rebound. So if we look at the, unless the next button is wrong. No, the next button should be wrong because that shouldn't change. If we look at next button right now, what is the disabled state? Can I see? It should be disabled right now. Oh, this is the back button anyways. See, obviously the back button is being set correctly because the back button is actually being disabled as it should be. So busy is false, valid is false. But this should be rebound, causing valid to become true. But it is not. So let's have a look in here then, because we have the listener in here, right? Where is it? Where's the listener? Or the valid property? Valid property, valid, here we go. And valid is set. The valid there is true. What's valid in here? Current step.valid property. I wonder if somewhere valid is being changed and it shouldn't be being changed. But where would that be? Well, most likely I would think it's in here. Concept on exit. Not going to be in there. This valid, I don't think it's ever changed. Yeah, it's only got one usage, and the only usage is in here. So if we find the usages of valid property, we've got current step.valid property.get, and then we have this, which is valid. Now, unless this is being like rebound or something, like valid.not like doesn't change the state of valid, does it? No, that creates a new boolean fashion. Then we have valid.get. I genuinely don't know. I don't see how that would ever be changed. Busy.set false. Unless it's being bound bidirectionally. Because if it is, then that could possibly cause an issue. Where are we right now? Where are we? How do you move to the cursor? There's a way to do that, right? Let's just, we're here. So what is current step? Current step. Valid is false. Huh. Current step valid. I am so confused. Am I missing something obvious? I must be missing something obvious right now. Oh. Oh, never mind. I'm being an idiot. I'm being an idiot. I'm actually so dumb. I'm actually so dumb. I knew I had to be missing something. It's because I'm looking at the friggin' wrong step. I need to be looking at the project details step. This one. Okay. That's why. That's why I'm getting confused. So valid is false. That's correct. It should be false. But more importantly, this should change that. So if I go ahead and press play, and then I'm gonna type in one of these fields. So valid should get set, and me changing valid should then cause this button to no longer be disabled. So let's try. So I'm going to step into validate project name. It'll do that. Do that. That's fine. So that returns okay. So then let's go into validate path. Okay, so path of text. Path does not exist. It does exist. It is a directory. It'll return a warning, but that's fine. So if we now step into... Okay, that is not what I thought we were about to step into there. I want to step into set. New value is true. Okay. That's what I thought. So... Oh, but it's saying the old value was true. Interesting. So because the old value is true, it's not causing the listeners to be updated. So what that means is that this isn't correct. This isn't the correct current step. Somehow. The question is how, though? How is that not the current? Let's try run it again, I guess. The current step is being set, right? Current step is no. I wonder if maybe I need to... I mean, I shouldn't need to do that. So, I'm just gonna... Oh, yeah, let me get rid of this one for a second. I'm gonna type in this field for a second. I'm gonna go to the next one. Let it load, and then I'm gonna press back. So, we'll go into this again. We need to watch a little bit closer at, like, what is happening to current step. So, let's have a look. What is current step right now? It's a Minecraft version step. Okay. And what's the valid state? True. Okay. As expected. That's how it should be. So if we go clean up current step, what is it doing? So current step is equal null. It's not equal null, so that's fine. So it's the buttons, it unbinds the buttons. That's fine. It calls current step on exit. Fine, I think. Right. Because current step, if we look at current step again, that's just the Minecraft version of step, so that's fine. So then current step should get set to be, if we look at current step, oh, it's because step at is reconstructing the actual step itself. So even though the UI is being even though the UI is being cached, the actual step itself is not being cached. I think that's what's happening. If we go to step at, yes, it's just grabbing it from in here, which isn't what we want. So what we can do to fix that is just have another map, which will just be another cache, a string of onboarding step, which will be the step cache. And then all I need to do in here is say if step cache contains, return it. Else we need to do that, put it in the cache, return it, is basically what we need to do. We could probably simplify this whole thing though, so we could probably turn this into return step cache dot compute if absent, the ID, and then we can just compute based on this. We can say, yeah, do that basically, which is basically a replication of this, which dramatically simplifies that code. So that just means that the actual steps themselves will now be cached, as well as the UI is now cached. So when step hat is now called, it won't go ahead and recreate the step, and now this also won't go ahead and recreate the actual UI. So I mean, we could probably, like, I'm trying to think, like, rather than having the UI cached in here, maybe we should just cache the UI in the section itself. But that doesn't really work because we'd have to implement that per step. So I think this is fine. Now, the only problem is if a later step modifies the data of a previous step, because that won't modify the valid state. So that's something worth considering. But I'm just going to type it in again. You guys can watch this time because we shouldn't have to. Let me give it the breakpoint, which I think we still have. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So if we go next, we can also change this to something else. So like 1.21.6. Then we can go back, and back is now disabled, and we can go next again. So if we go next, this is still 1.21.6. We can go back. This is still there. Boom. Okay, perfect. And if we, for example, go back, do that, so it's no longer valid, we can no longer go forward. If you do that again and then go back, that is 1.21.6. Good. Okay. Fantastic. The next thing to do is to turn this next button into a finish button and actually have it do something when we're finished. And then we can actually get into actually making this look somewhat decent, of which we're probably going to vibe code. Because I can't do UI, so we're probably going to vibe code our way through making it look good, but we can get the actual functionality done ourselves for now. So I think, honestly, this should be pretty simple. Unless I'm missing something, of course, but I think it should be simple. So if we go into none of these ones, into here. But where are the buttons? Here? No. Here. No. Here? Found it. So we can have a button, get finish button. Okay. That's fine. Another thing we could actually do, maybe rather than managing the enabled and disabled states, we could actually change the visibility state. At the very least for the back button we can. That would probably be better for the back button. Let's do that. So let's go into... well, first of all, we need to go into the implementation of this. So if we go to implementations, we have the basic onboarding UI. So you can go ahead and just create the finish button. And then we can just go ahead and create that in here. So this finish button like that. Set visible false. That's fine. We can also do the same with the back button. So this back button. Just set visible false. Well, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. We can just do that like when we're actually managing the buttons. We don't need to do that in here. That's unreasonable. This .right will need to be yeah, that might be a problem. That might be a problem. But what we're gonna need is we're gonna need some kind of function to change the button. So what we could have in here, pardon me, is we could have a void swap swap right button. Sure, button, new button, whatever. That'll do. And then basically in here, I can just override that method. And basically all it needs to do is just a button to set right, like that. Now this is going to add the styles, but I actually don't want it to do that. I actually kind of don't want it to even pass anything in. Do I? Well, I guess we kind of do. The problem with it doing this is it is a list, not a set. So it can have duplicates. And we don't particularly want duplicates. So we can do a little bit of logic here. So if new button dot style class dot contains, or we can say if it doesn't contain onboarding button, add that. If it doesn't contain right button, add that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, good. Alternatively, what we could do is just check if it's not the back button, next button, or finish button. We can actually do that. If it's not equal to this dot back button, and it's not equal to next button, and it's not equal to finish button, then we throw some exception. That way we don't have to handle that. That's fine. What are you using for UI? JavaFX? Yes, we are using JavaFX for the UI. Because Swing is disgusting and AWT is a joke. So yes, JavaFX is the UI framework of choice. So I think actually all I need to do here, rather than calling set right, is probably just call what right button, this dot next button. That will actually kind of do that for us. Is that actually a good thing to do though? Not really, so probably should do it this way. I don't want to annoy you, but can you tell me where I can update my mod to 1.21.9? It will be lots of pain and suffering, but if you want to, I recommend looking at the Fabric. Well, assuming you're using Fabric, then you can look at the Fabric update guides. I don't know how you find them, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, they're on the blog. Fabric blog. We're gonna find it. Okay, this is just taking me to a freaking Microsoft page. What? Not what I'm looking for. This. And you can see how to update to 1.21.2, how to update to 1.21.4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 and 10. So you have to do this one first, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. Is basically what you'll have to do. And these aren't like completely comprehensive either, so there will be some things you'll have to figure out. But it's a lot of work. I will just let you know that now. Like it depends on the size of your mod. You know, if it's a small mod, it might take you like an hour. If it's big mod, it could take you weeks, or even longer, realistically. I think it. I've reached to 1.21.6 and it's Fabric and it's more mod. Yeah, it probably won't take you that long then. It'll probably only take you kind of a few hours max. And it also depends on what your mod actually does, right? If your mod isn't doing anything that's like, if it's not doing anything that's relevant to what's changed in the update, then it'll be significantly easier. There we go. So I'm just going to change the visible property of the back button, which kind of should solve that for us. Next button I think is fine. The only thing I will say with the next button is that the next button dot visible property should be bound to the current index is less than step order size -1. That's fine. And then we can do the finish button as well. So button, finish button, and then here we can say like that. One thing that we probably want to go ahead and do is say something like if the if this.ui dot what do we want to do? No, let's say if next button dot is visible. No, if yeah, sure, if the next button is visible, no, let's say if finish button dot is visible, then what we want to do is we want to say UI dot swap right button to the finish button, else we swap it to the right button. And we should be able to do that regardless of whether it's already there, because it only all this actually does is it just sets it. So if it's already there, this just won't do anything in theory. Yeah. So I think that will actually, that should be fine. We just look at where this is called again real quick. Yeah, those should be fine. The other thing is we just want to do the same thing in here. So we want to do finish button, set on action, unbind, and then we also want to actually bind the finish button to do something. Kind of the most important thing, funnily enough, which the best way to do that is to probably just pass it into the constructor, to be honest. So create a private final consumer, and this will be of onboarding context, which will just be on finish, like that. And then that can just take itself into the constructor. We can do that as well. We just need to pass these all into here, of course. So consumer, like that. Like that. That. Obviously, once again, this is gonna kind of probably want a builder at some point, but it will do for now. We'll kind of come back to making it actually do something later on. So now all we need to do is in here. We don't actually really ever need to unbind the finish button, do we? Now that I think about it. Like, that doesn't really make any sense. Because the finish button will always, like, need to do something. But I guess... yeah, I mean, we kind of want to, like, do this. So that it will still call before next. Just in case, like, that step wants to do something. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So we will keep that kind of as it should be. Now, we are also going to want to manage the disabled property, though, as well as the visible property. So we're going to want to say, first of all, set on action to nothing, disabled property to unbind, and then bind the disabled property to be what it should actually be as well. Same as the next button, which should kind of solve any issues we have. I am actually going to do the same thing with the back button. Even though it won't be visible, I'd rather it just not be enabled, just in case they find a way to press it and it breaks something. You never know. Okay, we still have an error. That is, I think, just because of the on finish. So all we need to do is we need to take the context and well, okay, well, another thing we need to do actually is called that discard method we have. Let's just do that real quick. So that should happen ideally So this is where on enter is called. Where is on exit called? Well, I know. I guess only discard will happen afterwards, right? It'll happen at the very end, so only after on finish, which is here. So all we need to go ahead and just do is say context dot executor dot shutdown, which actually isn't a thing because the executor, oh yeah, we'll come back to that one. The other thing we can do is we can do this dot step cache dot values dot for step dot dispose is actually what we called it. We can make this take in the context, I guess. There's no reason not to. Did that actually just create a thing? I think it did, didn't it? Don't do that. Get out of here. Okay. And that just means that we can pass it in that context, just in case something in the dispose wanted to do something with the context. I don't know why it would, but you never know. And then we can just clear the step cache and clear the cached UIs as well. And sure, we can clear the content as well. That's fine. Just like a general cleanup. That should be good. I don't know if this clears the UI for us, does it? No, but that'll be fine. Let's quickly turn this into a method. So we can extract method reference and we can say on finish. We can do actually event on finish. We can get rid of this because, oh no, we are actually consuming the event. Never mind. Didn't realize we were actually consuming the event. But fair enough. Yeah, something like this could also be an event, or a method, I mean. Can I do that? No, apparently not. Kind of cringe, isn't it? And I can do that, but like that's so cringe. Fair enough. Guess we're not doing that then. This could also probably just be a thing that it does. Once again, I can't turn it into a method. That's so weird. I don't know why not. Okay, well that should be fine anyways. And then basically all we need to do here is say onboarding context, and we can basically just get all of the data that we want from here, which might be easier said than done, but we can try. So we can do put default keys dot type, and then we can put project type registry dot fabric. So that's just a hard-coded one that we have to have. We can then actually we don't need to do that because that's the actual context itself. We don't need to put it in the context. Instead, we need to create a project data like that. And basically we just grab everything out of the data. So we can do data.put like that. I think it's actually data.add or data. What is it? Set? Might be set. Yeah, there you go. And then basically I need to set all the other ones. So if I go into the existing Fabric project details pane, and then I go into here, I basically need to grab all of these like that and put them in here. And I just need to grab all of these from the onboarding context. So onboarding context.get string. Yeah, so we don't actually have get string, unfortunately, so we're going to have to do get. The only problem with that, well, I guess that should actually be fine. But this isn't what I want. I want default keys dot name. And then here we want basically the same thing, but for the path. And then we want the same thing again. So this will be onboarding context.get init get. Once again, same thing. So onboarding context.get license. License custom will need to be onboarding context.contains default keys. License custom. Yeah, I need to come back to this at some point, but not right now. Minecraft version. Fabric loader version will need to be onboarding context. Yeah, this is also wrong. This needs to be Minecraft keys dot Minecraft version. This needs to be Fabric project keys. The Fabric API version will need to be it will need to be if onboarding context dot contains Fabric project keys dot API version. Then we do that. Mod ID will be the Minecraft one. Yeah. Mod name, same again. Main class, same again. Use access window will be Fabric. Yes. It's good when Copilot's able to figure it out. Oh, yeah, it should be able to figure it out because it's right friggin' here. Okay. I didn't even realize that, but yes, it should just be able to grab it from that. Sometimes it does seem to be struggling. These ones are going to be a pain in the butt. I'll come back to those ones. Okay, why is this one not able to figure that out? Artifact ID, and then finally the version. Okay, these ones are going to be replaced with a bunch of if statements, unfortunately. So it kind of was better how it was before, but I can just hopefully comment them out and probably Copilot will figure it out. I'm guessing. So close. So close, but so far. It obviously just hasn't read what it had previously, which is unfortunate. But that's because, why was there brackets around that? Why is there brackets around that? It needs to be like that. Wait, no. Why is there brackets around that? What the hell? Okay, whatever. We can just do this. Nice and short. Nice. Thank you, co-pilots. And that's basically it. So then the only other thing it needs to do is it needs to do this stuff. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go into here, and I need a way to get the scene. Now luckily I do actually have the scene. I can do that. I'm going to plonk this into its own method as well. Once again, I'm hoping IntelliJ can do this. Why can't IntelliJ do this? Why is this not... Like, this should absolutely be a thing that IntelliJ can just do as a quick action. Right? And I can extract it to a method. Does that work? It's actually just made it a consumer. A method that returns a consumer. Oh my god. It'll be close enough. It's just the easiest. Well, no, you know what? It's really not close enough. I'm not happy with that. I'm just gonna do it myself. Fine. Let's create a private. I guess it can be static void. I don't know. We'll just make it void. On finish, which will take in the onboarding context. Onboarding context, which I'm afterwards actually just going to name to context. It also needs the scene and probably some other stuff. I don't remember. No. I'd want to rename this to just context. There we go. And then we can just pull that in here. Once again, this can actually just be context there. That's fine. So the only other thing that needs cleaning up is the flow. I want to turn this into a builder. So I'm just going to put here to do turn flow into a builder. What is the executor? That is for this. So yeah, this should also shut down the executor. Like that. Fine. And actually that can just happen inside onFinish though. So we could just do that down here. So we can do this.executor.shutdown. Actually, we can just put that, honestly, at the very top. Okay. So. This is pretty much everything we need to do. Obviously, we're going to want to move these actual steps into their own classes. And then we're going to want to add more steps, right? So we want to add all of the other steps, which will basically be every single field that is in here will be moved into a step. I don't know if maybe there's a way we could simplify that. I guess if we have this builder, then we could probably do a lot of that for us, right? The kind of thing where, like, because all of this is doing is it's just creating the same like form, and then it's creating the same section in the form. It's just going to be quite repetitive getting it to actually do each one. Because think about it, we've got to add one for the Minecraft version, one for the Fabric version, or maybe Fabric and the Fabric API combined into a single one. I think that makes the most sense. Then we've got to have one for the mod ID, one for the mod name, one for the main class. Use access widener, split sources. I mean, ones like these two, I'd probably move into like an optional kind of one, which we haven't got around to yet, but we will want that. And then, yeah, mappings, these will just be a single one, probably, just for simplicity. These ones will, author and description will be on their own, I think, as like a single one, and then issues, homepage, sources can be a single one as well. And I can also put some other ones in there as well, like email, IRC. What are the other ones? There's some other ones that it allows you to do by default, I think. Yeah, and then these won't be needed, like, at all. Those just won't be necessary, because that's not going to be a thing. I mean, I'm tempted to to try and vibe code this, but the problem with that is it's going to create a bunch of steps that I don't actually want, because I want it to function differently when it gets to certain ones, which is going to be a little bit of a pain. We're also probably going to have to rewrite a little bit of the flow system so that we can allow it to have these like custom sections. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best way to approach going forward is. Okay, I think the best way to go forward is to create the section that allows us to have multiple. So it'll be like multiple different cards will display. You can go into the into the specific card that you want, and then it will do whatever from there. I think that's probably the best way to go forward. Ideally, we would test what we have, and I mean, in theory, we could. I'm just slightly concerned that it's going to do some really weird shit. Like, some really, really weird shit, because it's going to start the project creation process without having data that is required. Like, things that I'm not even checking for because they have to exist in the original system. So let's see what happens. I mean, we can try, right? Okay, so we should also add loading screens and transitions and that kind of thing, but we'll come back to those. That's a whole nother thing. Hello? What is it doing? Has it errored or something? Dish.put. Null pointer exception. What do you mean null pointer exception? Name context.get name. Oh, we're not using these right now. Inside of here, where we're specifying this needs to be like that. And then same with the other ones. So the path as well will need to be the path, and then the Minecraft version will need to be the Minecraft version. And that just means the data will then be put in the correct places. Admittedly, likewise, those need to go in here as well. Yeah, I guess actually what I put in here doesn't really matter, does it? Because I'm not using the form. Yeah. Well, we'll keep it like this anyways, but yeah, like realistically, it doesn't need to be, because we're not using those data keys anymore. But I suspect that when we rewrite this to kind of abstract it out into be some like very simple like form-based onboarding step or something, I don't know exactly what I'll call it, but when I do something like that, it will probably just use a single data key and it will kind of do the rest from there. Yeah, I think that's probably fine, to be honest. But what is this again? Yeah, that's fine as well. Those are kind of just the same thing, so those can go together. That will work, but it's still going to crash because the other ones just don't exist. So it is going to give us an issue if I do this. Apart from getting that error still, if we press finish, it's going to give us the same. Yeah, but this time it's going to be on init get, because these aren't get or defaults. I'm guessing because, yeah, observable maps I don't think accept null values. So I mean, what I could do is I could say, see, I do kind of want it to throw an exception though, because I want to reserve null for when the value is actually null. Or do I? I guess it doesn't really matter, because realistically, if it's null, it's not because you want it to be null, it's because it's not been set. Like, you're never going to want the user to input a value as null. You would have it as like some empty data value or something. So it probably is a better solution to just say, if data does not contain key, then don't do that, just return null. And then I can just return that there, which should actually fix that, I think. Also, eventually this won't matter because we're going to have all the necessary steps. Okay, shush. It's fine. Finish. Okay, it still hasn't actually done anything, so I'm guessing it still doesn't like it. Am I correct? Yes, I'm correct. Why, you ask? The answer is, I don't know. Oh, yes. Right, so this wasn't the issue. The get wasn't the issue. The issue was the set. Because the value, I'm guessing, cannot be null. Is that correct? What is this? What is data? A concurrent hash map. Yes, and I don't think concurrent hash maps let you have null values, do they? Or do they? I don't think they do. Put value. If yeah. Value is null. It throws a null pointer exception. That's annoying. Why? Why though? Kind of silly, isn't it? I guess it doesn't need to be concurrent anymore, right? Originally it was concurrent because it would kind of put the data in as you modified. Wait, no, it didn't. So why did it need to be null? Or why did it need to be concurrent? I don't know. Good question. It doesn't need to be though, I don't think. Consider whether this should be concurrent. Try again. I think normal hash maps can have null values. I'm pretty sure. Like, kind of certain, I think. So, okay, let's press finish. Okay, different error. Hopefully though, this is actually like during the... No, it's actually here. Project creation pane. Did you not get his path name? Class cast exception? If object is an instance of path to path. Oh, yes, because the data I'm actually putting in there isn't a path, it's a string, I believe. Is that correct? Yes. Which it actually isn't what we want. We want to put a path in there. So we can just do that, and that will kind of work. The Minecraft version, I believe, does actually put the Minecraft version in there. Yeah. It's just because that one's a path. It's kind of a pain in the butt, really. But we can't, like, we don't have, like, a... Yeah. We'll come back to it. Where can I put it to do? I can put it to do... here. To do... How the fuck are we meant to handle this later on? Because if we're going to rewrite this to kind of automatically put the data in there, then how is it going to fetch this as a path instead of a string? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to do that. What's going on? What are you working on? I'm working on the exact same thing, Wide. The exact same thing. Well, technically not the exact same thing. I mean, we're kind of just testing it now, but... different error again. But hopefully this is something later down the line. So, get seen is null. Yeah. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be, but yeah, it is. The best way to fix that, because yeah, I thought this might happen when I originally wrote this. The best way to fix it is to use the scene property and just add a listener. And then say if new value is not equal null, then we do that. Then we do new value else. If the old value is not equal null, then we remove it. That's kind of the best solution for that. It's not ideal, but it will work. Let's try again. So, Next. Just hide this exception so we can see what the next one will be. Oh. Okay. Okay. This has actually worked way... That got way further than I thought it was going to go. Holy shit. I'm kind of shocked. I didn't expect it to get that far. I thought it was going to give us another error going straight into it, but it's actually started up the tasks. It got 17% of the way and then it's errored. Now why is it errored? The crazy thing is that it hasn't errored because it's missing something. It's errored because I put the wrong data into the download public MDK step, which is actually kind of funny. That it hasn't errored because of the missing data. It's errored because the step is incorrect. Download fabric example mod. So somewhere here, I'm guessing. Oh no, that's the extract one. I want download. Yes, I'm just putting in MC version, but that's not correct. I want MC version.id. Oh, admittedly, MC Minecraft version.toString should just give the ID, but it doesn't. So presumably this has actually created the project, though. I'm just going to quickly have a look. I mean, it'll be an empty directory because it failed to download anything, but I just want to get it to error at a point where it wouldn't normally error if we had the rest of the steps. That's basically what I'm looking for. And then we'll continue. So what did I call it? I called it Yes, the folder does exist. It has actually created the folder. So that means the steps run. They actually run like in order. I was kind of concerned. I wasn't sure if that would happen or not. Let's try this again. Go again. UB. Sure. Whatever. Okay. I'm gonna hide that error again because that one. Yeah, I actually kind of don't really know what this error is caused by, so I've just left it there. But I'll come back to it. It doesn't seem to be an issue, so. Oh, interesting. An error occurred HTTP 404 for refs heads 1.21.9. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Where's my browser? Let's look up the github.com/fabric MC example mod. Here we go. So it's saying archive refs heads. The issue basically it's saying there's no head. Don't take that out of context. Yeah, which there isn't, because apparently there's only one for the major versions. I'm curious, what are you meant to do for 1.16 or 1.15 or 1.14? That is a mighty question. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, yeah, that just means I need to fix the logic that determines the Minecraft version, which is actually its own step. This one. So obviously this one isn't working. So it should. Cache index. Pieces equal fetch version, fetch all versions, release time, candidate. So it's looking for releases, but that's actually not the correct solution. What it needs to look for is basically solid versions, so like no minor at all. Which isn't correct. Like, that's not what it's doing, I mean. How did this work previously? Because this did used to work. Well, in fact, you know what we can do? I know what we can do. Just as a temporary solution, because I don't want to fix this right now. I can't be asked to fix this right now. I'm gonna try just trying 1.21, basically. And just see if I just wanted to download the MDK, I can't lie. I want to download the MDK, and I want it to extract the MDK. And then I will be happy. So let's try it. I also at some point need to fix the actual like loading of Railroad to have a bootstrapper. But wait, no, not a bootstrapper. What are they called? Wait, is that what they're called? I don't know. They're like preloading thing. Oh my god, I forgot to change the background icon. Okay, let's try again. It's fine. It's fine. Splash screen. Yes, that is yes, that is the word I was looking for, or the not word, but you know, the terminology that I was looking for. Here we go. So I'm just going to try 1.21 because this should work. In theory, it's highly theoretical. Kind of. So it's downloaded it, but it's saying it can't find it, which is weird. I need to stop Railroad because it literally lags my entire PC. Like, it's really bad. Interesting. So yeah, it hasn't, there's no MDK file in there, which is weird. Well, I know that it does go into the temp folder, so I'm wondering if maybe it's sitting in my temp folder right now. Where's the temp folder? Does anyone know where the temp folder is? In app data, right? I think. Is that correct? Is it in local? I think it's in local. Because it downloads the MDK to the temp folder, and then what it's meant to do is it's meant to move it. I go date modified. It doesn't seem to have done anything. 54. Is that right? The only thing that's in here from the time that it said it did it, there is a temp file in here, but it has 0 bytes. Let me have a look at actually what I did when I downloaded it. Maybe I did something wrong. So it grabs the URL and it downloads to, in theory, this folder. So it goes http.download this URL. The URL should be fine. We can actually check if the URL is fine. 1 second. Let's grab this. Let's go 1.21.zip. Yeah, so that should actually... Yes, that has actually downloaded that. Okay. So that's not the issue. The URL is fine. So it should download it to this path. So what we can try... This also unzips it. This shouldn't unzip it though. That's incorrect. That's for the extract task to do. Oh, it could actually be the unzipping that broke it, though. One second, what did it say in the logs? Did it say anything? Oh, this is reporting info. Actually, we wouldn't have seen that. I think this should work if I go implementations. So it makes a URL GET request. It gets the response. If it's not successful, there's no body. Then it does that. Then it creates a temp file. Oh, it creates a temp file in the parent folder. Apparently. Is that true? That means it's in my users folder, which doesn't make any sense, does it? Wait, no, it doesn't. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. It will create it in my user folder, but not my users folder. But it's not in there either. Unless it's put it in some weird place. No. Wait, no, it wouldn't even do that because this is the. No. Never mind. I think this should be fine though. It moves it to the destination basically. So it creates it as a temp file in the folder that is the same folder as the actual file, but then it transfers it into the actual destination. I mean, that should work, I think. I don't know why that wouldn't work. It genuinely could have been the unzipping that actually broke it. Oh, 1 second. Oh, look at this. I just found it. I was looking in the wrong folder. It did actually unzip it, so that's the problem. I see. So the problem was it unzipped it. The download task unzipped it. So then when the extract task tried to unzip it, it didn't exist anymore. Hence it said it didn't exist. So that's what happened. The only thing to note about that is it has unzipped it to a subfolder. But I think the actual unzip task, I think it moves it, if I'm correct. No. Unzip archive. I think that'll be fine. Let's try it again. I need to delete those folders though, so I'm just gonna go do that. Because if I don't delete the folders, then we're not gonna know if it worked or not. I wonder if Railroad is memory leaking or not, or something, because it seems to get like worse and worse in terms of performance. No, it is just CPU. It is just destroying my CPU. Yeah. That's fine. And it's funny because it's all because of logging. You would think actually it would be I guess it's not disk, because it's not actually writing anything to the disk. It's just trying to write a lot of things to the disk. Okay, I want to delete the folders, but I can't go in File Explorer to do it because my PC is lagging so hard. Oh, never mind. I actually did manage to just just about get in there. So let's just do this again. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm putting in the thing. So I'm going to put 1.21. I'm going to go finish. And yeah, so actually, once again, a completely different error to what I expected it to give. It's saying Gradle.property file not found. Which is interesting, to say the least. Once again, this wasn't the errors I thought I was going to be getting, and what I thought I would be debugging right now. Yeah, so it has created the Gradle.properties file, but once again, it's put it inside of this subfolder, and I don't know why, admittedly. It's obviously like unzipping it. We're going to the implementation here. This is obviously not correct because this is creating this subdirectory. I'm honestly not sure, so I'm gonna cheat. We're gonna do this. Open inline chat, and then I'm gonna ask it, how do I make it not make a sub directory in the destination folder for the zip contents? Extract all the files directly to the desktop by ignoring the directory structure in the zip entries. No, I think it's misunderstanding what I mean. Unless this isn't doing that. Unless unless that is being caused somewhere else. Okay, this isn't helping me. Maybe that's being caused somewhere else. Maybe that's being caused in here. So just project dir, which is context.project dir, which I think is fine. And then unzips into the project dir. So then we go into here, which is the target. Yeah, which is this one, basically. And then the issue must be this one, though. After of here you go, destination file. It does zip entry.getName. Is that correct? So after of zip entry.getName. I think so, but it's obviously, the name is obviously not quite right. I think I need to do like substring zip entry.getName dot index of slash, maybe. I think I can do that actually, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Which should basically, I think I probably also need to do +1. which probably would fix that, maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna try again. Otherwise, that is obviously not the issue, and if that's not the issue, then I don't know what the issue is. Can you just remove the second parameter? No, because the entries themselves might be in a subfolder, right? Like when you extract the zip, there's folders inside the zip that might have stuff. So for example, you have the Gradle folder, which has inside of it a wrapper folder, which has the wrapper jar and also the wrapper properties file. So it needs to have this zip entry.get name because that also contains the path as well. So that's why I'm actually just going to put this time just on my C drive. That's going to be so much easier to access if I just do that. Okay, 1.21 finish. Okay, it seems to have worked now, I think. Or at least I'm not getting that error. I'm getting a different error. The error I was expecting to get in the first place, admittedly. Yeah, there you go. So that's gone ahead and fixed that now. So it's because it was putting it inside that subfolder for some reason. I'm guessing because maybe the zip does that. Maybe in the zip there is that subfolder, actually. If I just do... Yeah, look, here you go. When you download the zip, inside of there is a folder, which is why it's doing that. So actually this isn't... Well, yeah, this kind of isn't what I want because it's a little bit deceiving in terms of... Yeah, this isn't actually what I want. Like, this code was fine. The issue... I need to fix that actually in here. So afterwards, I need to do reporter.info, moving example mod files. Yeah, and then basically it just gets the MDK version, which isn't going to be like that. So this is going to be the... Is it a Fabric project key? No. What is it? It's... Minecraft project keys? Would I have done it as that? No. Well, what did I store it as? Let me have a look. It's in, Resolve... This one. Project content. Okay, that should not be in there. Those should not be in there. That is completely and utterly the wrong place for that. But okay. Sure. So I think it wants the... In that case, the... branch? Resolve the ID. Yeah, basically the branch. So I can do get a string, example mod branch. It doesn't like that because this is a key. Oh, this is project context key. Right, of course. So I just need to do context.get. Okay, that's why. So that should work, and then what I can do is just basically if files does not exist, that's a pretty big issue, first of all. Yeah, but then basically just move it, right? So files dot move, extracted it to there. The project there. And I think by doing that, it should do standard copy option. What replace existing, and also atomic move. I don't know what atomic move is, but I think you're like meant to do it, so I'm doing it. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. And then that just deletes the archive as well, which I think should be fine. Let's try it. Wait for it to load up. Okay, so we're just going to do that. I'm just going to put it in my base C directory just because that's so much easier for me to access. And then we need to change it to 1.21, finish. And it says, okay, this is a different error again. What's it saying? There to there. That's all it's saying. That is not helpful. What is it? So it's saying fabric dash example dash mod dash 1.21 and then an arrow to there. But it's not actually telling me what the error is it? What's the error? It must be that this is throwing an exception, I guess. You can move a directory, right? Oh, because I don't want to move the directory. I want to move everything inside the directory. I want to do files dot. I need to do like files dot list. And then I should probably make a method that does this. Like files dot I don't know. Extract directory contents. Right? And then create this method, which will be the extracted dir, then the so this can be just the destination, this can be the source, this can be the copy option. I don't need copy options, that's silly. Well, we can have copy options, sure, whatever. And then I just need to go into here, and then I need to override the method, which is this one. And then, yeah, probably something in file utils, that seems reasonable to have exist. Okay, so we need to basically do try, and it will just walk, and then yeah, I think this has probably got it right. So we'll just quickly have a look though. Destination is equal to the destination.resolve and then source.relativize. I never know how to say that word. It's a very hard word to say. Relativize the source. So yeah, that'll just make the source folder relative to the destination folder. That's fine. If it's a directory, we create the directories. Else we copy it. I think that's fine. That looks fine to me. Let's try it. Let's try it. We'll run again. And hopefully it will work this time. And it should get us to the second error, which we can't fix right now, because we need to redo all the steps for that one. Or create all the steps, I mean. At which point we may do a little bit of vibe coding to create the UI for us, but we'll see when we get to that point. I'm not too worried about it right this second. So I'm going to do 1.21 finish, and yeah, so now the error we get is this one, which is basically saying the mapping version doesn't exist, which is fine. That's correct. And actually, look at that, it sends us back to this screen as well, which is what I wanted it to do. And if I look in the Explorer, we can see, boom, this is now here. This is still here though, so it hasn't deleted that. It should delete that though, so we do also need to delete deleting example mod, which will just do delete directory. We'll go ahead and delete that as well. I'm pretty confident that will work, so I'm not going to test that part. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. As I say, the next thing to do, we have a couple options. Option one is we go ahead and we just write all of the different steps that we want. Option two is we get ChatGPT to do that for us, since it is literally just going to be copy pasting and basically just like reformatting it into a different format. Option three is that we try and write the other UI that I want, which would be like the 4 different options that you can go into one and then come out and then go into another one. That's going to be complicated because that's going to be rewriting a lot of the flow stuff, which I really don't want to do. Or option 4 is to get ChatGPT to just make the UI look better. But I don't think that makes sense to do until we have all of the steps. And the problem with doing all of the steps right now is that, as I said earlier, some of them aren't going to be useful. Because eventually they're going to be... I guess they won't be rewritten, they'll just be moved. They'll just be moved into, like, subfolders. So I guess we kind of just do want all the steps in that case. Okay, in that case, what we will do, I think we're going to cheat. I say cheat, it's just saving time, really. And by saving time, I mean it's going to save us, like, a long time. Like, genuinely. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin up Explorer, just in this folder. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Terminal. We're going to do a little bit of vibe coding chat. I think this is one of the only instances I would say that are a valid use case of vibe coding. So just got to spin up a Ubuntu subsystem. Okay. So, oh, okay. I thought it froze for a second. It's fine. Let me also stop this because that's going to lag my PC. So, okay. So what we want it to do is basically all it needs to. I mean, it's a very simple task. It needs to come into the Fabric Project Details pane. It needs to take all of these, and then it needs to come into Fabric Project Onboarding. And it needs to create a new step class for each one of them. I mean, it should really just be a lot of copy pasting, and then adding like the necessary form for each one, and adding the valid property. That's it. And then creating the section, creating the ID, the title, the description. What it might be maybe worth doing before we do this is creating a builder for this class like now rather than refactoring this class later. Although the problem with that, and I'm kind of concerned about it, is this because if we make it a form, I don't know how to handle that other than having some special like data retrieval thing. And the other thing is no, we'll do that later. That's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to spin up Codex. Oh, it actually it has an update. So I don't care about the update. We probably won't need it. All I want it to do is, can you take what is in Fabric Project Details pane? Yep, that one. And convert it into onboarding steps inside of we can do at Fabric Project onboarding. I think that's all I need to ask it, and I think it will figure out the rest. Fingers crossed. Because this will save me so much time if it succeeds. I have used it for this kind of thing before, and it's generally been okay at it. Actually, before it does that, one thing you always have to do is commit beforehand, just in case. You never know what it's gonna do. So just for safety's sake, I'm gonna commit. I don't have to push the commit, I just have to make the commit. And that way, it's not just accidentally going to yeet something, because I'm not going to verify every single modification it wants to make. We're just going to see what it's able to do. And hopefully it doesn't use up all my my tokens. Because Fabric Project Details pane is a big file. How many lines are we looking at? 686. I mean, and even this one is 302. Plus, it's also probably going to look at onboarding step as well, which is relatively small. But it will probably look through all of these to try and understand the actual underlying structure first, I imagine. Is that what it's doing? Right now it's just reading project details plain. That'll take a while. Okay, now it's reading the other stuff. I thought it would. Oh god, it's reading forms as well. Oh dear. This might take it a while. Because forms are quite a lot. Like if I look at form, I think form itself isn't that big. Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's like if it starts looking at like form components, like this is a massive class. If it starts looking like at form section, this is reasonably large. If it looks at, you know, any of the actual implementations, those are pretty big. So I kind of hope it doesn't do that, because I don't want it to use all my tokens on that. It actually just looks like it's looking at the onboarding stuff right now. So which is fine. The only caveat about this is that it takes ages. Because it reads so many friggin' things, and a lot of them are just unrelated. Like, why is it reading form transformer? I don't know. It doesn't need to. It doesn't need to read form transformer. It's not really relevant to what I'm asking it to. I guess it wants to understand, like, about some of these transformations down here. Oh god, I hope it doesn't use those. It shouldn't. Hopefully it's smart enough to figure out that it doesn't need these anymore. But we'll see. If you had to rate the progress stream 1 to 10, what would you rate it? I don't know. We've actually made pretty big progress in terms of like the actual onboarding, like from step to step. We've now got the finish button. We've got the next button. We've got the back button working. And we've gone ahead and fixed a bunch of the actual like creation steps as well. I think we've made pretty good progress. And hopefully ChatGPT is gonna skyrocket the progress. It's taking forever though, so it might not. It's doing a lot of thinking. I feel like it doesn't need to think that much. Like, this isn't a complex task that I'm asking it to do. Although it probably thinks it's complex because of all the friggin' async stuff. All of this stuff. I think it's gonna get concerned about that. Let's see. This is the actual part where it usually does the coding. So I'm kind of concerned that it hasn't actually done anything yet. Okay, this is I kind of didn't think about how much waiting around this is probably going to end up being. Where's this command prompt? This wide is called vibe coding. Well, I mean, not really. Like, it kind of is, but not really. This isn't much different than using Copilot. Or what I'm using it for, at least. You know, you could use it to write a program for you. But that wouldn't go well. Why do you need this? Because it's going to save me a long time of friggin' rewriting all of this, all of these 700 lines, and turning it into these. I don't want to have to do that. And if it can do it for me, then that's great. I actually don't think it's going to succeed because it's looking at the wrong things. Also, yeah, I do pay for it, so I might as well make the most of it. How long has it taken? Right now, 7 minutes 40 seconds, and it hasn't written a single line of code. But like, you're not doing it because of the time. Well, I guess you kind of are doing it because of the time it takes. I don't know. Like, I'm not asking it to do anything I don't know how to do. So I guess I kind of am doing it because it should be quicker. I mean, however long this takes, right? It would take me probably about 5 times longer, I suspect. So Docker is so OP, like, I don't know why I haven't think. Oh, Docker is great, man. I use Docker for so many freaking things. Not on my PC. Well, I have Docker on my PC for something, but I use it on my server and on the Railroad server as well. It's great. I mean, Docker itself, I kind of don't really like Docker, but like Portainer just makes it so much easier. Because I don't like writing Docker files, man. It's like, ugh. And then you get into like Docker Compose files, and it's like, yuck, yuck, yuck. Okay, this is taking a long time. This is gonna work. Oh no, maybe it is. Look, assembling final onboarding patch. So maybe it is actually gonna do something. What do you guys think? Do you think it's actually gonna? Do you think it's gonna work? Like 10 minutes seems like a long time. But you have to consider that, like, it's transferring a 700 line file into probably one that will end up being maybe 1,000 lines, right? Because it's going to end up longer because it's going to have to add all of these friggin' methods in here and all of the form builders and stuff. It might actually not even be able to do it all. I might have asked it for too big of a task, which is probably why it's getting. I mean, it's not got in a loop yet. I found that with these things, they actually very easily get in a loop. And then they just like crash out and die. You know what I should have done? I should have duplicated the project. And then I should have given one to ChatGPT, given one to Gemini. Let's see which one would be able to, first of all, do it correct, and second of all, the fastest. I'm not paying for Gemini though, so I'd only be able to use Gemini Flash, which isn't great. It hasn't given me the patch. No fucking way. Oh my god, it thinks it's given me the patch. It hasn't done anything. No fucking way it hasn't done anything. Right? Unless it's... Okay, what I can say to it is I can say you can request. Actually, you know what I can do? I can. Let's give it full access. Wait. No, I want auto. I don't want full access. And I can say make the changes. And in theory, it might have it in storage, like in memory. I don't think it is. I don't think it has it in memory. I think it's doing it from scratch. But doing it from scratch might be faster if it has permission to write to the file. Maybe. I probably should have thought about that from the start, because yeah. Like look at all the things it thinks it's done. It's ported the full fabric form, project basics, full Minecraft fabric options, optional metadata, Maven coordinates, implemented async loaders / caches, automatic field transformers, mapping refresh logic. No, it hasn't. There's no way it's done all of these things. Well, there's no way it even thinks it's done all of those things. But then it has given line numbers, which is kind of funny. See, that suggests it only goes up to 448. There's no way it's done it on only 500 lines. Anyways, like, that's just not happened. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that to run. And whilst that's running, I'm going to do it myself. So that's the plan. What's the quickest way to do this? You know, actually, what we'll do, let's map out the actual steps that we want. Right? So this is all the data. Let's put this somewhere. Let's go into Notepad. Okay, so these are all the things we have. So what we need to do is we need to split this up, right, into sections that we want, or steps, right? So I think it makes sense to start with project name, project path, right? That's a single step. After that, I think it should be the Minecraft version as a single step, as we currently have. Then I think it should be Fabric Loader version and Fabric API as a step. Then I think mod ID and mod name. Probably mod name first. It makes more sense to ask for the mod name and then the mod ID, I think. That makes more sense. Admittedly, the mod name is kind of just the project name, but they are also technically different, so. Okay, next is main class. I think that should be its own thing. Maybe? I don't know. I guess it could be included in those ones. Because it's relevant enough, right? Next, I think mapping channel and mapping version. I think that makes the most sense to be next. But I think those should be separate ones. Also, because it simplifies the code for me, and it also just kind of makes more sense to be separate, I think. Next, I would say probably Maven coordinates. I mean, it's best to do this, I think, in order of importance. So if we're doing that, then I don't know though, actually. Maybe these should be here. And then it goes Minecraft version, then it goes Fabric version, then it goes the mod stuff. But maybe mappings should be before, like, the mod name and stuff, because it's kind of more important metadata. Yeah, I like that, I think. And then name ID, class. Okay, and then it's basically the order of these ones. So I think I kind of think the license should be somewhere at the start, because it's quite an important thing, right? I don't know, actually. Maybe not. Oh, it's actually started doing stuff. Oh, good lord, what the fuck is it doing? Oh, god. Okay, I need to tell it to stop. I need to tell it that data. I guess you guys can watch what I'm saying to it. Because what it's doing is it's trying to create some like shared state, which kind of defeats the entire point of this. So I don't want it to do that. And I say that data should be fetched from the context, the Minecraft version step, and then like these I think should be different steps. Those should probably be different steps. Okay, I need to just quickly ask ChatGPT to turn this into a list of like what each one is, right? Just like the variable names. Oh, it actually did it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be able to do that or not, but it has. This is what I was looking for. Okay. So what I want is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, step 10, step 11. I'm just going to give it these steps. I think that will... And then I can say, basically, below I have provided the steps and the orders they should come in. And then like that. Okay, now what's it thinking? It's already used 250,000 tokens. And it hasn't done diddly squat. Hopefully it will start by removing what it added, which is this absolute bullshit. That's what I'm hoping, because if it doesn't, that's kind of a problem. And I don't want to have to deal with that. Okay. The other thing that we can do, whilst that's doing its thing... oh, no, it has actually... Oh, what the hell? Oh, it's actually... What the hell? Where'd it get this from? Wait. Did it actually update the code? Did I miss it? Oh, I guess I'll never know now because it's made the change, right? Yeah, it has. It did actually write the code. I'm actually kind of impressed. I mean, it's obviously misunderstood, like, what I meant here, right? So basically, it should just get rid of this and get rid of everywhere that's used, and then also put it into the steps that I asked it to do. But it should be able to use what it's already done, I think. So actually, this really shouldn't take that long. I hope. I very much hope. Hopefully this gets done before the end of the stream. That would be nice. Let me create a poll. See if you guys think this is going to work or not. Will ChatGPT be able to make the working onboard steps? Yes. It's actually already written 1,700 lines. It might actually... Holy shit. Okay, I've created a poll. Make your votes, guys. Checkbox, that's just such a non-issue, though. Did it really need to do that? Okay, whatever. Okay, so it's messed up the imports. Oh no, no it hasn't. Oh, it's messed this up. Oh, that's because it can't. The map.of is too large. It's done. It's done. So the only issue is the map.of, which I'm not particularly surprised about. You know what? We can ask it to fix that. I'm just gonna give it the little error, and it should be able to fix it. It will. I don't know exactly what it's gonna do to fix it. There's multiple ways. You could do a new hash map and then use the curly brace things. You could do, I think, of entries. Yeah. I don't know what else it would do. Let's see. See what it says. Of entries. There you go. Ha! No errors. Damn. It's got one warning. Which is what? Half.2 string. I mean... Yeah? What's this? Project name setup. Okay, it's done some really weird shit though. Like, I don't want fields to directly update other fields though. I want. Well, I kind of do, because I want it so like putting in the Minecraft version, then going to the next one, it will automatically load the correct Fabric versions. So I guess I kind of do want that. Yeah, this is going to be the other thing. It hasn't done the inbox. Should we try it? Let's see what happens. How far into it are you? Well, we're testing it now, so we're about to find out. Okay, immediately it's added this. I didn't realize it would do that. Okay. Good start. Next. Okay, group ID. dev.dirtywordy. Artifact ID. Let's go with test mod. Version will go 1.0. Okay. There's no back button. And the next button doesn't work. So obviously, first of all, the Maven coordinate step is not correct. Attach validation. Yeah, I don't know why it's done this. That group ID.status is not equal to error. I don't want this. This is kind of what I was concerned it would do. It would just kind of add things I didn't want it to add. Which actually just makes... It takes more time. So I'm probably going to end up actually just doing this myself anyways. I don't want the attach validation. Oh god. And update validity methods. I just want each component to have listener. In fact, did we even test it after we modified the back button and stuff? And the finish button? I don't think we did we? Oh, and let's not listeners only in combo box component. Shit, it might be. I hope not. Yeah, it's also done things like this. It's copied these across, and I didn't want it to do that. Just because, like, they just don't need to be in here, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm just gonna end up not using this. And I'm probably gonna end up doing it myself. But lucky for you guys, I don't think you'd want to watch me do that on stream anyways, because it would take a long time and it would be very boring. How many lines of code is this class? 1,700 lines. Oh my god. Yeah, I will be abstracting this first then, anyways. So, it doesn't really matter in the end. See what it's done. Okay, so how many lines is it now? 1,600. So it has actually got rid of some. Valid.set. So it's kept update validity. Okay. Okay, so it's kept the update validities, which I guess is fine because otherwise it would just be duplicating a bunch of code. So I guess that's fine. Is it done? No. Let's just give it a second. And then we'll test it. But admittedly, we might need to go ahead and fix the actual onboarding process because it seemed that the next button wasn't correct, and also the back button just didn't work. So visible property.bind busy or current index is equal to 0. Well, neither of those should have been the case, to be honest. Which is interesting. What's it done now? Oh, don't do that. So how many lines are we down to now? 1,700 again. Okay. What's this one again? Oh yeah, that one's fine. That's not a problem. Let's run it. Fuck it. Let's figure it out. I want to see what I want to see is the entire friggin' project, like, creation process work. I don't think we're gonna get that today, unfortunately. But we can try. So let's try test mod. Next. dev.30wordy. Test mod 1.0. Okay. Next. Okay, this has not worked. But we can kind of fake it to work. Okay, it seems to have got stuck there. Even though this is the part that actually worked before. Oh, never mind. It has worked. Yeah, there's just some errors with something. There's a timeout of what? What's timed out? Presumably it's parchment, because parchment isn't in the options. I'm guessing that's what's happened. Timeout. How to fetch versions from registry? Yeah, parchment has failed. Interesting. Huh. I'll come back to that. How much more progress till Railroad is done? A long time. If you think Railroad is going to be done soon, yeah, unfortunately that is not the case. Okay, this is like, it's kind of working, but it's also kind of just not really working. I think it's close enough that, like, I can just about probably get something to be created. That one's fine. Wait, Git repository, yes. We'll skip that one. Split sources, yep. I think these are all optional. So we finish. Oh. Ah. An error occurred. Not very descriptive on the errors, I'll be honest. So playing Java dev dirty task mod. So what step is this on? Moving source files. What step is that though? Not sure actually. Creation step. That must be... I don't know. I actually don't know. Let's have a look. So what happens first? So... Okay, so it's obviously succeeded with extracting. It's obviously succeeded with updating the Gradle properties. Has it? Is that true though? Now I'm curious. So I think it just went in users terty-worty, if I recall correctly. And I think we called it test mod. So let's see if it's actually updated the Gradle properties first of all. Yes, loader version didn't work, but I'm not surprised about that one because some weird shit happened there. That bugged out and stuff. So that's fine. So what's it complaining about then? It must be rename packages. Let's go source main Java dev terty-worty test mod. Okay. What's in com example? So we have example mod and we have the mixin in there. I don't know why that's happening. Rename packages. If files don't exist, comma example mod. Else, example files don't move. Old to new. Oh, that won't work because of directories, right? That's why. It needs to be extract directory contents. That's why. I need to do that there, and I need to... Yeah, that's the only one. Right? Yes. Okay. Well, honestly, guys, I think we're going to end the stream here. I'm probably going to come back and rewrite everything. Yeah, everything that ChatGPT just did, because it's not ideal. Like it's done what I wanted, but it hasn't done it in a way that I wanted. So I'm probably going to rewrite it all. In fact, I'm quite confident I'm going to rewrite it all. So I am just going to discard those changes. Yeah, which gets us back to here. And I'll just do those steps from scratch. I'm probably going to change how steps are function, or how they're structured as well. Because it can be simpler than this. I can just have it grab it from the form. I'll have some kind of, like, form... data formats consumer or something that will transform the path. Or, you know, whatever's in it. I think that shouldn't take me too long to do that, but we don't have time now. So I am going to go ahead and end the stream. I will be streaming again next Saturday. So that is Saturday the 11th at 7 PM. I think it's still British Summer Time, so BST. So yeah, I will see you all then. Good. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to use the see you soon screen. Look at this. Look how amazing that is. Anyways, I will see you all then. Goodbye.